Dexter Original Sin, Episode 8, Time, Business and Pleasure. In this episode, I thought it was fine. I mean, I get it why the Deadwood stuff was there. I get it why it's there. Mainly because it's there to set the foundation, on a story point of view, is that there to set the foundation of believing that the Deadwood that we saw in Episode 1 is going to go the path that she goes on in the original series, which is her becoming a cop. And it's there, and you understand why it's there. But I just couldn't care about it, mainly because I'm like, oh, Deborah's dating history is questionable. She dates jerks. Oh dear, like I haven't seen anything like that before. It's not like in series 1, she gets engaged to the ice truck killer. It's not like she's marries this guy, dates this guy or this guy, and it's just, it doesn't feel, I get it's meant to be a little bit humorous if you'd seen the original show of her keep dating, assholes, and, dating jerks, but it just felt a little bit too like, oh, this is nothing new here for me. And, it's, once again, there to, get her on that journey that she goes on in, her becoming a police officer, which will probably happen in the far, or at least the decision of becoming a police officer in the first, in the last 2 episodes. But it just thought it was kind of, Dexter trying to find her. It just, there's no sense of urgency really, because like, it's not like series 1 where it's like, we know what Brian is capable of. We know what the Ice Truck Killer is capable of. So there's a level of intensity and there's a level of we need to find Deb. We don't know if Gio, at that point, Gio being a good, he seems like a regular nice guy. She's fine. It's all good. Like, something's going to probably happen, which it does. But there isn't that level of stakes that makes it that engaging, really. So it's understand why it's there, even though the on the nose dialogue with her saying I'm never going to date any jerks ever again. It's for me it felt a little bit too on the nose. Same with the Amel Prado, who was a main character during season 3 of the original show, played by Jimmy Smiths. His character shows up for just a little bit, showing that those two characters, Amel and Greta, were item, and the whole line of like, well, he thinks he's gonna be DA one day. Yeah, he can dream on that, and I'm like, For me, that felt a little bit too on the nose. I get it. Once again, it's meant to be cute. It's meant to be funny. If you know what you know, I mean, surely, Miguel Prado's going to turn out. If he does, when he turns into becoming DA, I'm sure he's going to be a calm individual. Yeah, very calm, very calm. Not going to be on that table whatsoever. This episode did felt the most prequel of it. The one, for me, when it comes to prequel shows, the best ones are the ones where they don't reference the original show or do the wink wink hint hint fan service thing. For me, the way you do a prequel show is pretend that the original show never existed and you just tell the story here. Like, you know where the characters go, but you make the audience forget. And the way you forget that the original show existed, or it's a prequel, is you make it treat it like its own thing and pretend that the other thing doesn't exist. That's what you do. So, doing the wink wink hint hint, it doesn't really work in this situation, or at least in this episode. I mean, we even get the whole, Dexter wanting the slice of pie, the boat for the first time, and of course again the idea of like, this is how I get to know where to dump the bodies now, which is by the Bay Harbor, becoming a Bay Harbor butcher. I don't know. I just slapped myself for saying that lame joke. See how on the nose that is. Yeah, see, a couple of times in the episode that happens. Anyway, so there's a couple of other things to talk about. We got Spencer, good old Spencer Rooney, who is the guy who is the big bad for this season, and of course, Dexter's trying to say to Harry, this guy is a big deal. He's the big bad. We need to arrest him. He should be on my table. I need to hunt. I need. He's the guy's kidnapping and killing these kids. And of course, Harry is biased. He's like, I have this history with this guy. Harry's like, I attend his son's this, and I attend his family blood, and we done this and that, and we're buddies basically. So there's a lot of biasness there. So the whole time I was like, Dexter, you need hardcore proof. You need hardcore proof to convince Harry that he is the main guy. That that Spencer is the big bad. Because they haven't named him, have they? They haven't give Spencer like the Bayer the Butcher, Ice Strike Killer, Trinity Killer, Doomsday Killer kind of name, have they? So I don't know what should we call him? The Child Snatcher? Yeah, the Child Snatcher is probably a way to go. But he needs hardcore proof. And him investigating and following Spencer and knowing how far Spencer is able to go to hide his tracks and point the finger to other people and like taking down the cartel and make it pretend that the cartel are kidnapping these kids, not him, is a real interesting thing. And clearly what I think a lot of people assume that the reason he hasn't killed his kid or the reason he kidnapped Nikki is because he wants to like make sure it isn't him. Like the question of why would he want to kidnap his own kid is the reason people won't point the finger at him. So it's a whole aspect of thing, which of course will guide into maybe next week's episode, guide into the next week or two, just because in case Spencer gets the needle in the neck in next episode or something. So we also find out that good old Brian Moser, when he was a young old snappy around the same age as Dexter, that he was experimenting his skills, because Brian Moser is of course the CI shot killer in the original show. So the investigation of between aggression, Harry then finding out who's killing these people, and turns out it's Brian by just a look of recognizing the name of the file. Harry recognizes Moser B, pulls it out, sees all the bodies, and you just go, holy shit. That was the big reveal for me. That was like knowing that this is a Dexter round code, and this Brian just killing off these minority groups, because society-wise at the time, because this is set in 91, at the time wouldn't blink twice over. It's on par of what he does in the original show, which is he kills prostitutes. He kills prostitutes because people wouldn't pay attention to a death of a prostitute. People wouldn't blink twice. Minority groups and the minorities, the underdogs, the one people don't look twice. Those are the people he would kill in the original show. So you kind of see this weird evolution of it. Like, it's weird. Like last week, I was like, you know what? Like, they're saying they want to do like a Trinity Killer show. It's kind of cool to see an Ice Strike Killer show. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to see the Ice Strike Killer prequel show. Thank you very much, because I want to know like how. Maybe because it's maybe a little too messed up, but I want to understand like how like his mind process. Like, I know how he became the fucking Ice Strike Killer because the same thing happened to Dexter, but I need to know. I'm like, I kind of want to know, like, his, like, even if it's just an episode, like, knowing his faults and all the things that you see in the file. And you kind of want to pause every time because you're just curious about what happened, like, what is his process? What is Dark Picture for Brian is telling him to do? The flashbacks in this episode. The flashbacks in this episode is, I knew it was going to come. I didn't thought episode 8, I thought maybe episode 9, maybe 10. But, I'm kind of like, the horror of it. The moment I saw those fingernails, I recognized that, oh, this is the episode. Or this is going to be at least half of the episode, or this is the day where, you know, Laura Moser and little Brian and Dexter go into a shipping container, and of course they explore why there's so much blood when Harry walks into that shipping container. Why there was more blood than for one human person, and the reason behind it was simple. There was more people in there, and you're thinking, like, people who double cross, and it's the whole, and this version of the cartel is the one who's going to be like, I'm not just going to kill you, I'm going to kill your family, and of course, Laura's like, let my kids go. They don't know anything. They probably don't even know what the hell the conversations were about. And he's like, you know, the sins of the mother. They need to pay the sins of the mother. And it's like, it could be also the trick of, like, you know, they could help the cops. It's the witnesses. You know, there's a risk that they might know something. So, there's that risk as well. But, oh god, the last few minutes, hearing that guy screaming with a chainsaw and thinking, oh no, are we going to hit that point? Are we going to hit that point? Are we going to, like, it'll be interesting how they handle, like, seeing little Dexter in the shipping container for blood. Like, are we actually going to see Laura Moser getting, you know, chainsawed, or like it? But yeah, the line of "look away, Dexter," and him unable to, just seeing the horror and his head just getting pushed up, because you can actually tell, like, Dexter was a good kid, and that's the tragedy of it. Like, Dexter probably would live a regular life if he was in that shipping container. You know, he probably wouldn't be socially awkward to the point unable to read social cues or whatever. You feel a sense of, and maybe we won't, thank goodness. Maybe we'll just hear sound effects or whatever. But yeah, that line, "look away, Dexter, look away," and seeing that, like, that child just locked onto it, it's just absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Anyway, comment below, let me know your thoughts on this episode.